Are you looking for a podcast about some curly Utahs?
Then you must be thinking of another podcast. Oh, what it do, Kelsey?
What it is, Robert?
Good evening. How are you?
I'm lovely. How are you?
Oh, I am good. My voice is finally somewhat of
Healing?
a thing again these days, you know.
Excellent.
But
I
mhm.
it's about to rain. Just like any good YMBToAP night. Every single time we record it rains.
Yep.
Have
Yep.
you noticed how humid it is lately?
Hasn't really been that humid here.
Okay. Apparently the Midwest is getting real humid lately.
Okay.
And it's due to corn. Corn.
Okay.
I am down a weird rabbit hole of headlines after our dear friend Desi sent me an article that was like, "Why so humid? Corn sweat."
Wow, so humid. Okay.
That's literally the headline. Okay, so corn sweats. Corn
Really?
sweats. Yeah, like the stalks of corn in a field just sweats. Like they're just out there heating, making wet in the sweat.
Okay.
And I guess that evaporates. Just like makes it extra humid in the Midwest. So everyone's like, "Oh, the humidity is due to the corn. The corn is sweating, and I'm sweating for the corn."
That's weird.
It's really weird, and I did not know this was a thing.
I've never heard of corn sweat in my life.
Me either. And I'm like, why now? Why is the corn sweating now? I guess it's always done this, but like there's never been a news article about it.
It's
Apparently
like we're not
soybeans
growing
get
more
sweaty.
corn, right? Like, did corn become more popular due to Corn Kid, or
I have no idea. So yeah, I guess soybeans get really sweaty in August too. And like this article is just telling us, yeah, produce is getting hot and bothered out there in the field, is sweating it up, making it humid.
you telling
Okay,
me
increasing
like all those
demand for
videos?
corn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, due to ethanol. Okay.
Okay.
Huh.
I was like, are you
Global
telling me all
production.
those like images you see back in the day of like a farmer with like, he's got the little handkerchief out of the back pocket of his pants and he's just it's not really because it was hot outside and he was sweating, it was just humid from all of his crop sweating. Like,
Just
is that what this
humid
was the whole
corn.
time?
Yeah, I don't know, man. The global production of ethanol has been steadily increasing, with the exception of a dip
Oh,
during the COVID-19 pandemic.
okay.
Fascinating. So we're
Well, that
hotboxing
makes
it with
sense.
the corn, basically, is what's going on.
You know what makes me sweat?
What makes you sweat?
Not opening up one of these bad boys.
Let's crack it. I'm thirsty tonight.
Let's do it. Ooh, I see what you got.
You see my thing?
Yeah.
Ow,
Ooh.
why did I pop
Oh,
my
this one
finger?
didn't open well.
Yours didn't open well either?
No, like the
Mine
little.
fought me the whole way.
Yeah, I was like, open. Like it cracked a bit.
Corn sweat.
And then like this was lifting up, but it wasn't pressing the thing down. So I was like, what am I going to do? I have no way to get into this.
That hits the spot.
Mm.
Still no sponsorship deal from Liquid Death, by the way.
Did you see their new thing
No.
that there's one in existence of?
What?
They just partnered with Yeti
Okay.
for a 1-to-1 life-size casket cooler.
Now,
It's a
No.
fucking casket
someone's gonna get buried in that.
that you do the little. It's like the standard T-hook closure. So I was like, I've never seen this on a cooler. But you pop those and you open it up and you fucking just have a cooler.
All right.
Because it's actually like insulated and stuff. Like it's not just a casket. Like it's legit built by Yeti as a cooler.
So you can
But it
crack
is
open a boy with the cold ones.
it is casket sized.
Fun.
And it said there is one. Just one.
Because the demand is very low, believe it or not.
Yeah, the commercial was ridiculous. It's like a pastor and he's like, is this to your liking? And then like it zooms out and he opens it up and there's ice and then there's like a grieving family and she's like, it's perfect. And he goes, good, good.
Okay.
Yes. And then it cuts to them like at a pool party and the pastor's like, yeah, with the liquid death and he's having a great time and stuff.
At
It was
least
so
Liquid
weird.
Death has
I saw that
fun.
today. I saw that
Just today. Oh my
today.
god.
Yeah. It was crazy that you brought them up. Their marketing is unparalleled. I gotta say though.
Honestly, this isn't an ad for them. Where, like I just said, not sponsored, just passionate, but
Clearly not, because there's only one, so it'd be you
only one.
tell you about it as an advertisement, you know?
Yeah, it would be ours. We would show it to you.
Yeah, that's the advertisement. Look at this. I can't keep it anywhere. It's too big, you know? Ooh, Tenzin's little paws were like coming through the door.
Sticking his legs under the door at you.
So, but interesting on the corn sweat. You want to
Yeah.
know what else makes me sweat?
What else makes you sweat?
Did you ever go to a Meow Wolf?
I did. I went to the one in Grapevine.
Okay, well, we just went there.
Okay, I wonder if it's the same thing or if they've like updated it at all.
Okay, so we went for Taylor's birthday, which was last Monday, right? So it was like a house. The big thing was the fridge.
Okay, yes.
Okay, so it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Did you do the mystery part of it?
I tried. I didn't get anywhere with it. Did y'all?
No.
Okay.
I didn't understand half what was going on. Okay. Give me your rating of a Meow Wolf.
Oh, I think I talked about it on the show like a while back whenever I went, but like it was so crowded when I went, and it was unfortunate because they did like timed entry type of thing. So like we had to go at 11 a.m.
That's what I thought.
Because that's what our time slot was. So we're like, okay, 11 a.m. let's go. And then it was just fucking packed full of people. And I was like, why aren't there half as many people?
Dude,
and
there was like nobody there.
Lucky you. Like I couldn't hear. There's like, okay, so you go into that camper and there's like a little radio playing, right? And they're saying like numbers and stuff and like.
Nope, didn't have it in mine.
Okay. Yeah, we had a radio playing in ours, and I was like trying to hear what it was saying, but there was a child just like stomping around and screaming, and I'm just like sitting there with my fucking ear to the radio, like, what the hell is this saying? And then the like workers are walking around and stuff, just like making sure everybody's, you know, not dying. And
we had nobody at ours.
What a weird.
It was just like
experience.
Us, and then like a family. There was like a lady with a kid on a leash.
Man, lucky you.
And like that was about it. Not much was happening
when it first opened. So
yeah,
everybody was fucking there. But yeah, the workers were walking around, and the girl was like, "You listening to that radio? It's very interesting what they say in that radio." Maybe.
Oh man, they didn't give a shit about us then, because I was like when we got in the house, we tried to do the mystery thing. But I was more focused because they were like, "Oh, there's these little bean sprouts that are on the walls, and if you text to the number, you get clues." Yeah. I found one.
Me too. I was like, "Okay, where were all the bean sprouts?"
They're not around in good places.
No, I found one like on the way out, and
I found that one, and it said like reflect or something.
Yes, yeah. And so I texted the number, and they were like, "You found one of like 47." I was like, "What the fuck?" And Richard was like, "Do you want to go back and try some more?" And I was like, "No, I'm gonna have a panic
Mine didn't
attack."
even say that. It just gave me the clue and then a picture or something, and it doesn't even say like what of what. So
there were a bunch of them apparently.
It's like a different experience now, I guess. I think they really slacked back on caring about what you do in there.
Okay.
Because I mean, I basically was just so I did this one that was like, mirrors reflect a lot of things we don't often see. Worms have the best poker faces. And I was like, where are these fucking worms? I never found a worm.
Yeah. I mean,
I think we all were just like enjoying the sights because only one person was trying to do the mystery at all.
Okay. Well, did you have fun?
It was okay.
I want to go to the one in Vegas.
I was like, I don't.
Store.
It was because people were all like, well, what is one? And the only word I can say is it's an experience.
Yeah, it's like an immersive.
It's not
experience.
Anything.
No,
because it's just what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody that I went with, well, a majority of them went elevated
Okay.
to get the most out of it,
Uh-huh.
and a melting room scared a lot of people.
Yeah.
The goopy wall, and then there was like a picture frame that had like a camera, and it was just like full of patterns, but when you walked by the camera, it like put your silhouette in the pattern.
What the heck? That
And
didn't
so they
happen
were
for
like
us.
playing with that, doing this, but then it changed to like demonic shit, and they were like, fuck! And then they ran away.
Okay.
Um, it might be like the same, but like they tweaked a couple rooms, maybe.
Probably. I can't imagine it's just like always the same.
Yeah. I mean, I really only liked one thing:
What'd you like?
the fridge.
Okay.
Walking to the fridge, there's 6 rooms of shit that I didn't care about.
Yeah.
But then you open that one to the diamond encrusted goat,
Yes. Okay.
and it turned into a disco room. Right? Did yours do that?
No.
Oh, okay. So this one, you literally open the door, you're looking at that fucking weird goat thing, and the instant you open the door, the music literally fades out of the room. It like
Okay.
goes,
That
and then
didn't
like the
happen for me at
lights dip
all.
red, and a disco ball fucking starts spinning, and it just starts playing disco music, and it's a fucking party.
Okay. The disco music was on constantly for me.
Oh no, art, and then you close it, and it would, so there was that like ambient music, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the disco was like, "Ba-da, ba-da,"
Yeah.
and then it just came back on with that, but like it literally would fade up and fade out with the door opening and closing. So I was just doing a whole like pocket full of, pocket full of, pocket full of sunshine, doing all that shit.
Nice.
That was the best part for me.
Okay. I think just because I was like jam packed in a room with people, it was just constantly open. So it was just always in disco mode.
Probably. Okay, well, it like was reacting in real time, and that's what was mind blowing to me.
What a cool experience for you.
It was very different. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there were probably 10 other parties there.
Man,
The most having 6 people,
there were
and
10
then we
other
had like
parties
8.
in
So
that fridge room with me.
no, okay. So the fridge room, there was a family that came in. It was like mom, dad, and then like a stroller, and then they went and found like their one other kid, and they wouldn't leave that room. They just kept playing with the door.
Okay.
But so we were leaving that room, and I thought, because we went with Mary and a whole bunch of people,
Uh-huh.
Shay, Adri, Shelby Garrett, a whole thing. I thought Mary's hand was on the door holding it open to go somewhere, and I almost like grabbed that hand.
Oh no.
That belonged to a different lady. I am very glad I didn't touch her hand, because she would have been like, "What the fuck?" and gotten mad at me. There was a closet that
Mhm.
was a black room with
Yeah.
stars and a mirror, so it was like you were in infinite star stuff.
Yeah.
That was probably my number 2 thing.
That was full of children when I went.
Ours was empty. I mean, literally, it was like we had free run of the whole place.
That is so cool.
But we did nothing with it because the clues make no sense. There's no help.
Okay.
Nobody walked by and tried to nudge us in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, I got the nudge, but it didn't do anything for me. She was just like, "Oh, interesting radio. Maybe you should listen in class." And I was just like, "I
There
can't
was a
hear it."
bedroom with with an alarm clock that said 7:06, and when you press buttons on it, it would like brrr, like do static and freak out, but like there was nothing playing on that radio.
Huh?
It was a weird place.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I like it. Like, I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
I think if I'd have gotten more into that mystery side of it, it could have like sent it over the top for me.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, yeah, it's a bunch of weird looking rooms. Like this sink, you turn on the faucet and colors come out. That's pretty cool.
We kind of like invented our own story to go with it. But
There is like a missing kid though, right? That's like the idea.
yeah, like that's
Okay.
the whole thing. So we kind of like made up our own story to go with that to kind of satisfy our own
Okay.
narrative need. But yeah, overall, very crowded experience, and I wouldn't do it again if it was going to be that crowded.
I think I prefer an escape room. Escape rooms are fucking where it's at, man.
I love
That
escape
shit
rooms.
is way better. It's the Meow Wolf type experience, but without a mold room
Yeah.
or a weird room with animatronics that I think you were supposed to press these buttons and they'd move, but they didn't do anything when I pressed it.
I didn't have any animatronics. You may have gotten into a weird back room.
No, like I went into the fridge and there was a room where like there were just 4 buttons on this countertop.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I think one was supposed to make this cowgirl lady do something because there was like sounds playing and she's standing there, but like nothing was happening. So I was like, what does this mean? I didn't gain anything from that. I didn't gain a lot about what was in there.
I liked the aesthetic experience of it. It was very cool. I really enjoyed the garden. Like, that was my favorite part, probably.
The garden was great, but also wrong. Badness. You want to know what's horrible about that place?
What?
All the little holes that said do not enter.
Yeah.
And there was nowhere to enter them on another side to crawl out of. What are the point of those?
I don't know.
There were cutouts. Like right here. There'd be
Okay.
one. Ooh, hang on. Right there. And it'd be a hole you could crawl through, but it would say do not enter. So I'm like, okay, that's an exit. Where do I crawl into this hole on the other side? And we never fucking found a place. And so I was going to crawl in the hole and nobody would let me. Because I wanted to know where it fucking went.
You're going to get stuck in there and die.
Nobody would let me find out. So I kind of do want to go back just to crawl in one of those holes.
We should go back if it's still around next year during podcast movement. We should take Aaron and John with us.
Okay, well, I'm crawling in the hole.
Yeah, I'll let you crawl in the hole.
Okay.
I'll hold off the workers. Be like, nobody look over here. Nothing strange
They
happening.
weren't around. They wouldn't have. That's why I was going to do it. Nobody cared.
Maybe there's
like
secrets in there. The solutions
I
in
saw
there.
like maybe 2 or 3. And one was just like sweeping and going like. Didn't care. We'd crawled up on one installation. And this girl just like walks by and goes. And just kept going. So I was like, well, all right. They really don't care about it now.
Weird.
Did you go into the treehouse room?
Yeah, but not for any length of time because.
Oh, we chilled in there for like 30 minutes. Just the 8 of us, like, let's take a break. And we just kind of sat in there like, what do you guys think so far? Just had a whole discussion. Life is easy. 2 very different experiences here.
I wish I had yours.
I mean, you can go now.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you're
no,
not
I
even
live
that
4
close
hours
anymore.
away.
But yeah, I'd like to do because everyone kept going like, did you do the slide in the washer dryer? And I was like, that's the Vegas one.
Yeah.
That's not this. This one has a fridge. There's a goat in the fridge and a disco.
Yeah.
Which to me sounds cooler. So
The disco goat fridge. How could you not love it?
yeah. So we did that, and then we were gonna go to the movies.
Okay.
Right? I was gonna take people to go see Alien Romulus. Right?
Yes.
I get everybody ready, and I was like, okay, well, I knew we might have a change in number, so I didn't want to buy tickets early. I was like, I'll wait till sooner. They're not going to be sold out. Alien Romulus ain't going to sell out. So I go to buy them like that day, and on Tuesdays, they're half price. They're $5.
Yeah.
$5.50, right? They were $10.
Full price?
Damn near. It said like $11 for the day, but the discount made it $9.
Okay.
And I was like,
Some
okay.
discount.
Well, fair. On holidays, they don't do the discount Tuesdays. I was like, I guess Labor Day's coming up.
Yeah.
So I went to the next week. Same price. I was like, well, that is the week of Labor Day. Makes sense. So I went to the next week. Still $9. So then I got on Reddit and everyone was complaining about how there's no more $5 Tuesday.
Motherfucker.
And I just did that for Inside Out 2 like a month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
So this is a very recent change, and it's one I am not happy about.
Deeply passionate about.
That's the only reason. That's the only way I get to see movies.
Yeah. That's like the best way to see them.
Nobody can pay $15 a ticket anymore to go see movies.
We had patron of our Discord, Ferdin, discussing how he went to go see Alien Romulus by himself and paid $50.
Yeah.
For like a premium experience. You know, he got popcorn, he got the pickle, he got the upgraded super silver screen ticket or whatever. What's the XD?
Like XD or IMAX type stuff?
I don't know. I feel like even just to buy an IMAX ticket by itself is like $30, 25.
It's $17.50.
I feel like
for one ticket.
It's just so much.
I can buy Alien Romulus on Blu-ray when it comes out for almost that price.
Yeah.
That's nuts to me.
I'm fine paying that much for a movie if I bring my own meal and purse, you know?
Oh, yeah. You got to bring the Walmart candy every time.
Yeah. But I just wish you could like mimic the theater popcorn, but you can't. God, I want theater popcorn right now. I haven't had a movie theater popcorn in a very long time.
It's going to make it hard to see movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't go see Longlegs because I was like, well, I want to see a movie coming up later. So I'm going to save my money.
What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Finish that, and then I'm going to have a thought train to take you on.
Okay. It's like we just discussed in Friday Roundup last week.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm now having to pick and choose, like really define, I'm going to do this over that.
Yes.
Because I can't do both now.
So also, as we discussed in Friday Roundup, what would you think if they started pricing movies dynamically? So like, how do you quantify it? Like a kid's movie, would you pay less money for it because it's for children, or would you have to pay more because it's animation and so many people worked on it over so many years?
I was going to say okay, so we're doing it based on like the legit movie.
Do you pay more for a Scorsese movie versus a Wes Anderson movie versus a new director who nobody knows?
That's actually a pretty good question too, because, you know, I was going to say you shouldn't pay as much for an indie movie versus like a blockbuster movie because they got to make their money back. But the quality of that indie movie, plus they need that money more. So why should I charge you less then?
James Cameron doesn't need his money from Avatar. Like,
for real, it's going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know.
But like the guy who makes Art the Clown, Mr. Terrifier, needs every dollar of that to put all his fake blood back onto the set.
I don't know. That's it. Well, because see, that's so much different than the like game one, because like your mileage varies so much more drastically in a game when you're talking 20 hours of difference in time versus 20 minutes of runtime.
Yeah, and if you guys haven't watched Friday Roundup, first of all, shame on you. But second of all, what we're talking about is that a guy at Larian Studios had a series of tweets where he talked about we should think about pricing games differently based on the depth, breadth, and quality of the game. Like, every game shouldn't just be $70 when it comes out. We should have some games that are $20, some games that are $100. We should be able to price based on what the game has to offer you. Which I think is interesting. Well,
that's like you said as well. How do you then quantify the art?
Yes, because Journey, very small little game. Yep. One of the most impactful games I've ever played.
Yeah, that's definitely better art than Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah.
Even though I played it for a full year.
And it's not a realistic art style. It's just moving.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it makes more sense for games because they're interactive. You are actually inputting yourself, whereas a movie, you don't even have to pay attention to it, and it's going to go by in the same amount of time.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Do you pay more for a longer movie? A 3.5-hour Killers of the Flower Moon versus like 90 minutes get in and out?
I would say in that case, yes, you should. I think you definitely should, because that takes away time from other movies playing.
True.
So earn that space then. You know what I mean? Earn that space then.
But then
I think you should be able to charge more for that.
But then when directors just default to like we should make a longer movie to make more money off of it.
True. But then you'll know who's making shitty movies because they're always going to keep doing that. I mean, like, we know who makes good games now, and we know who doesn't make good games. Ubisoft. But we still keep buying them, you know.
Yeah.
But I bet we wouldn't if we knew that we weren't getting that pricing model. But maybe not, because we know that it's not worth $70, and we still got people paying $120 for 3 days of early access to a game we already know they won't like.
Yes. It's
We're just bad at spending money here.
it's just a
that's
weird
all it is.
time to exist.
Like, it's because we live in the FOMO times.
Yeah. Like,
I got no problem missing out on the latest Disney live action. I can catch it later, and they didn't get my money. That's okay with me.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I told you I want a lot of games this year.
Yes.
I've bought one.
Yeah.
I've spent money on one game because I knew I wanted it, and every other game was going to detract from me having the money to do that. So I just said, nope, this is this money. And we'll be talking about that game later. But I've only bought one, and I am going to buy a second.
What are you going to buy?
But then I'm tapped out. Oh, I'm buying the Astrobot game. That's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
I want that little robot game. It's cute and fun. He's like PlayStation's Kirby. Like, I love Kirby games. There's nothing to them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really even... They're not hard. You can't really
They're
die.
awesome.
You just, like, redo the same shit, but, like,
Yeah.
they're fun. And I
They're
like
fun
that
and they're
shit.
cute.
And he's fun and cute, so I just want to see what he does.
I just want to see him suck.
But there's no more fucking $5 movies. I don't know that I'm going to see a lot of movies no more, at least in the theater.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Having, like, moved away from a movie theater, like, the closest theater to me, I think, is an hour away.
Yeah.
Much like the closest anything to me. It makes me, like, really have to weigh which movies I'm going to see in theaters, because we had 2 movie theaters in the colony. I was going to a movie twice a week just because they were there and I could.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, is it worth the hour drive out there and the hour drive back?
Like, you got to really know that you were going to spend your time well.
Yeah.
You know? Because now it's a chore to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, trust me, like, I knew I wasn't going to like Dune or Dune 2 or whatever. Like, I would have liked to not spent $15 a ticket and spend it on a movie that I thought I would like, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that in IMAX. Remember, I said it's $17.50. Was $15 then. Well, it keeps going up. So I don't know. I'm just pissed off that there's no more cheap movies, and it bugs me.
It's all going up, but the wages, baby.
So I did want to tell you this, and I'm going to ask you something too.
What are you going to ask?
I am going to be house sitting a dog this weekend.
Okay.
But it's just far away from me. So I'm not going to drive back and forth because that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just stay there. I was like, what am I going to do? I was like, I could lug a PlayStation. Like, I could do all this. I was like, you know what? I never give myself time to do this. So that's my plan. I've decided. I'm taking nothing with me. It's going to be me, the TV, and maybe some Netflix stuff or something.
All right.
So I've been getting a lot of I already know what yours is going to be, but I'm still going to ask. I do.
Okay.
So I've been asking. And so one person wants me to watch Interstellar because I've still never seen it.
Oh, I forget that you haven't seen that movie.
So that's 3 hours. Then they were like, oh, well, if you're going to watch that, you got to do Shutter Island.
You got to watch Shutter Island. Oh, my God.
Why? I already know the stuff.
This is all tying into stuff that I'm about to talk about. I'm so excited.
So maybe Shutter Island. I will watch Interstellar. That's
okay.
That's a for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe that one. So then I was like, well, let me look up some stuff. I was like, oh, Kevin Smith ever do that other He-Man show? Because that one ended like 4 years ago, and he said he was going to do it. So to tell you, it's been a while since I looked it up, because I did look it up, and it was like, oh, that already came out in January.
Oh.
And I went, oh, I add those 5 episodes to the list.
There you go.
So I'm gonna do those. From Friday Roundup, I'll watch the Terminator thing.
Perfect.
Now I had a couple more that were like, maybe I'll get to those.
Okay.
But I'll let you tell me what you have, because I picked like a couple that I could just watch the whole thing. I was gonna do Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, and I was thinking about doing Arcane as well.
Oh yeah, I still haven't finished Arcane,
Yeah.
which goes to show you, like, I didn't care that much about it.
So, what would you have for a I got some time to kill watch stuff?
Okay, you need to watch Severance. You know I'm going to say
I already knew
Severance.
that's what it was. I already
Yes.
knew that's what it was. Yep.
But I'm also I've just finished a show on Netflix that I wanted to tell you about.
Okay.
So if you're ready, like to talk about Delicious in Dungeon.
Oh, okay.
So I know a couple of people in the Discord are going to be very excited to hear that I have watched this now in its entirety, and I broke our secret pact because we had secretly agreed that we were going to stop watching anime for 2024 because we were a little burnt out on it after some experiences. But this one keeps getting recommended to me in my Netflix queue. It's like, you should watch Delicious in Dungeon.
It's not all over your TikTok feed, because it's all over mine.
No, I haven't gotten a single TikTok about it.
Oh my god, I get stuff about it all the time because people talk about the dubs for it and stuff, and they're all like, "Oh, the way she did this line's so funny."
I watched it in Japanese because a couple of reasons. Like, I just prefer to read any anime, but I'm also, trying to learn Japanese, so I was like, this will help, and it did. I feel like I picked up a couple of new words and some phrasing and stuff, but just overall as a show, I didn't know what to expect out of it. I knew that it was a food anime, and it's about like people go into a dungeon and then they like cook the monsters that they kill and then they eat them, and I thought that was the whole show. Like, that's all I was expecting this to give me. And in the first episode, like, the entire party gets killed and annihilated by this red dragon, and there's a brother and a sister, and the dragon is like coming in about to like bite the brother and destroy him, and the sister like pushes him out of the way and she gets eaten instead. And this is like minute 1 of the anime, so I was like, this isn't food.
This isn't food.
So she gets eaten up, and then they get like resurrected because that's a feature of the dungeon. You just like get pulled out by workers that go in and like drag out the corpses and stuff. And the dragon. So the dragon like eats the sister, so she doesn't get her corpse removed from the dungeon. And so they're like, we have to go back for her. And I'm thinking the whole anime is going to be about them like, journeying down through the dungeon to get back to the red dragon to defeat him, and like they could open his stomach and get the girl, and it's all done and cool. Yay. They eat monsters along the way. And that's not at all what this anime is. Like, they are eating monsters and stuff, and they do have like beautiful food sequences and some really funny, like, not food sequences that they do in the way of food, because there's always like the guy who cooks for them narrates the recipe. So he'll be like, and chop up the vegetables, and then you cook them in this kind of oil, and then you do this. There's some stuff like where they've killed some frog monsters and they're making like outfits out of their skin. So there's like these two intermingled like sequences where the guy is like, cut the frog skin off and then sew it together like this, and they're just doing it in the style of a recipe, which was fun. But by like episode 6, I think they've found the dragon and they're like gonna kill it and cut it open and get her back. And I was like, this anime still has like 20 more episodes to go. So like, where is this gonna end up? And it just goes places. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just a good watch. I didn't expect it to like grip me the way it did. I'm really interested in the characters, and I am to the point where I was like Googling those little ramen sitting figures, because they have of those for these guys, and they're just really cute. I like it a lot. It's a fun time. The characters are all interesting and they have depth. The female character, I don't know how to say her name in English. It looks like it should be Marcel, but in Japanese they pronounce it Marcele. So I've been saying Marcele. I don't know if I'm wrong. anime community fucking come for me in the comments. I don't know.
Hmm.
But she is such a interesting character, and she has such like lore. She's not just like the dumb blonde elf who hangs out with them
Yeah.
and has big boobs or whatever. Like that's kind of what I've grown to expect from anime, unfortunately. But she's just a really good character, and I like her, and I really want season 2 immediately, but that's probably not going to happen until like 2026. So
Or more.
yeah,
Because right now it's just announced. I was
right.
gonna say since the manga is complete in its entirety,
Ooh,
would you read it?
I don't know.
Like it is done. It is full and complete.
I wonder if the show follows the manga exclusively, or if they've like forked or branched at all.
That I don't know. If you guys do know, you have read it or something, write in and let us know.
Yeah, because I would
I'm
love to
sure I
read
could
the manga.
Google it, but like I want to hear some people tell me,
Yeah,
fans of it, let me know.
let us know, because it's just good. I was gonna say I'm having a good time, but I had a good time with it. It's over now, and I'm sad that it's over because it was my show for like
Yeah.
a couple of weeks.
What,
I was watching that
2
nightly
days?
to go to bed.
Oh, okay. I was like, you probably would. I mean, I guess I'm just used to how Stu watches shit now, where he's like,
Yeah,
I watched
streams
all of
it.
Game of Thrones in 3 days.
Clockwork
You
Orange
know?
style.
Oh, by the way, we're gonna watch Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Taylor keeps getting TikToks about it and stuff and going like, I don't even know what's going on, but like I get sucked into these scenes and I'm like, do you though? We've watched it. And she's like, I don't know. I think it's worth a it's worth a chance. And I was like,
It's a good show.
is it though?
It's one of my
Is it
favorites.
though?
Yeah.
Stu said he only put it at 3 because he couldn't think of another show to put up there.
I mean, that's just Stu.
What
I
about
think,
this? What about
what?
this? I do have an interesting question for you on this. So Stu watched that. To which then Haley was like, are you going to watch House of the Dragon, the new
Uh-huh.
prequel show? Would you watch it?
Me?
Yeah.
I watched episode 1 and it made me physically ill, so I didn't
Haley
continue.
absolutely refuses to watch it for a reason that I don't know if you would jive with.
Okay.
Actually, I know for a fact you won't for something I'm going to tell you, and I'm going
All
to
right.
straight up out her on this right now. It's going to be great.
Here we go.
You guys couldn't see that, but I adjusted my ears for this because all I could do. Haley she cannot watch House of the Dragon because it is a prequel when she knows where all this will go.
Okay.
Like she already knows that whole clan will amount to nothing.
Well, yeah.
So why bother? She can't. She said she just cannot do this. Why even bother then if you know where it goes? So
Haley
I go, let me guess. You don't like Halo Reach because that's the whole point of that game is that everybody dies. And they do. Everybody fucking dies. And she goes, I don't know what that is, but I wouldn't like it. And I was like, let me guess. You don't like Rogue One.
Yeah.
And she goes, that's the worst movie on the face of the motherfucking planet.
Yeah, we're not friends anymore.
Hated Rogue One.
So is she not an Anakin Skywalker fan?
No, that's her favorite person.
Haley. Do you know what he becomes?
That's her favorite
Spoiler alert.
Well, she likes Darth Vader, so I guess I did take that question wrong. But like Darth Vader is her favorite person.
Okay.
That doesn't mean Anakin's her favorite person. So I should clarify that. But she is in another time zone, so I can't even ask her right now.
I love prequel shit. Even if I know exactly how something's gonna end, I'm like, how did we get here?
And so that's a question I had for you because she can't watch that due to that reason. And Stu was like, oh, I don't really care. I'll just do whatever. But he was like, didn't like Game of Thrones enough to watch that, I guess.
Yeah, I have a friend who really wants me to watch House of the Dragon, and I keep saying, like, I'll do it, but I haven't made time for it.
When it's over, you maybe should. That way you can just do it. You just do it and be done with it.
But I do miss being able to like talk to people about Game of Thrones. I mean, that was the whole thing. Like when Game of Thrones was airing, what, 2012 or something, I was throwing those little weekly parties for us to like watch Game of Thrones, and
Yeah.
we would bake food that like matched the theme of everything. That was a good time for me because I was like, now I have people to talk to about it, and you can eat this food I made that's also in the show.
Yeah.
But,
Like, I just don't remember taking anything away from that show.
yeah. It may have just been like the atmosphere too. I don't know. Like, it's a different time for you.
Like,
Weird way
I
to watch
think
the
it was
show.
just because it was so big. It was big for everybody.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to know where it was going to go. I'm like, but did you really like it?
I really liked it.
You know, like,
And I'm one of the maybe 4 people on planet Earth who liked how Game of Thrones ended. I loved the end of Game of Thrones. And I'm wrong, apparently.
I love how, because like I asked Stu, was like, "What do you think of the end?" And he was like, "I don't really care. I mean, I just watched it." Like, he just watched it. He just intook the thing and went, "I've seen it now."
I don't understand.
And it didn't mean one way or the other for him.
He just intook it. Just like this.
Well, I mean, it was a task from his son, so
okay. That's how I felt about Lord of the Rings. It was like, yeah, I have seen it with my eyes, and that's enough.
I mean, I've seen it though, like all the way through, and I'm still just like, I mean, yeah, they walked a lot.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is like, see, that's one that I still really just don't understand the hype behind
Yeah,
it.
same. I think that was a legitimate you had to be there type of thing. Like you had to be a fan
there.
of it.
Oh, well,
you had
I mean,
to be a fan of it in the moment.
and I mean, I saw all 3 of them in the theater the day they came out. All 3.
I don't know why you bothered to go back after your experience with the first one was just like,
Well,
okay.
So they were my cousin's birthday. Every year they came out like right on my cousin's birthday, and so we always went. And I saw them all, and I was like, I've seen them now. I never watched them again until we did for the Zeitgeist thing. So like what, almost 10 years without seeing it? Maybe it was a long time.
Not
And
enough time, some might say.
Nothing more away the next time.
Sorry,
I'm trying to think of a thing that I have like that kind of fandom for, and I think there's really only one that
Terminator.
like the fandom runs that deep. It's Full Metal, man.
Full Metal. You are
Full Metal, man.
You're in Full Metal right now.
Full Metal is great, but like you can prove how great it is.
It's true.
And
it is unparalleled.
Nobody fucking walks away without liking Full Metal.
Yeah,
there's no discourse there.
No. I've never met a single person who doesn't like Full Metal.
Yeah.
Ever.
But what were you gonna say that mine was?
Terminator.
And I thought about that, but like, no, I just like that one movie a lot, but I don't like all of them.
Really?
You know, they all fucking suck. I watch them.
Okay.
When they 1 and 2, I've seen a billion times. All the rest of them, the one time when they hit the theater, and I went, "Well, that's another crapshoot," and then I walked away.
All right.
That's not a fandom that I'm like that in. You know, that's a fandom that I have fun in.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be like, you don't fucking know. You don't know Terminator, bro. Like, no, I don't do that. That's me with two things. Full Metal. Ready?
Yeah.
PT.
Okay. Yeah.
House of PT right here, man.
Spreading the good word.
But so fine. What'd you say? 20? Well, I got it right here. It's 24. What's that? 6 hours? No, that can't be 6 hours. That's got to be a lot longer than that.
They're like 20-minute shows each, so 8 hours, right?
Something like that, because you get 3 an hour.
Yeah.
3 an hour. So
8-hour binge.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, 8. Boom.
I don't know if you like walk away from anything with it. I just really like the characters, and I think there's going to be a couple characters that resonate with. Yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah. Like it's an entertaining show. Like I just like the way that they talk about the monsters and talk about how to cook them efficiently. I mean, it's really interesting.
You can't walk away from every show with as much as you do from Full Metal.
Yeah, you know no, I mean? It's no Full Metal. It's just something that was like very fun and easy to watch in bed.
Yeah. Like I've watched plenty of stuff that's good. But that doesn't mean that I have to go like, oh, I walked away, life changed, you know. Like it can still be good, a good fun time. There were actually a lot of animes I wanted to put on my list, but I was like, can't really watch that. I mean, I got like one day to watch shows. Like, how much can I literally watch in the 24 hours?
Yeah,
You know?
so Severance is going to take you a cool 10 hours, I think. But I think you should watch at least the first 2 or 3 episodes, depending on how much it hooks you.
I will see if that's available because we said that was Apple.
Yes.
I'll see if Apple's there. And then if it is, I'll do Severance.
Okay.
But I know Netflix will be there and I think Hulu or something. Because I need Hulu for Interstellar. So we'll see
Okay.
how that goes. But I'm going to be watching stuff. So next week, expect me to talk about at least 2 shows and a movie.
All right. Heck
Probably.
yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, would you like to take a quick break?
I very much would.
Oh, let's freaking do that.
Oh, you think you know what happened to me? Look, I'm back, and I'm about to unearth all the secrets in Old Cove. So do a little refresher on Season 1 and get caught up before Season 2 arrives. Trust and believe. You don't want to miss what's coming.
Welcome to Severed, a podcast suite that offers a rotation of content centered around true crime to paranormal cases. Severed True Crime covers high to low profile true crime cases like the Westfield Watcher, The Staircase, The Keepers, and other binge-worthy favorites on Netflix. Severed Paranormal peers into the corner-moon windows of the Amityville Horror House, the Conjuring House, and other mysterious cases, locations, and urban legends.
I'm Harry Chambers.
And I'm Drew Hudson. We want you along for this investigative and haunting roundup. Scare you soon.
What's up, guys? If you are enjoying this episode, please go on over to patreon.com/YMBToAP. Sign up to be a patron. You will get hours and hours and hours of bonus content. Literally so much. We've been doing... Okay, so first of all, $2, Discord. Chat with us all the time. It's a fantastic time. $5, you get pre-rambles. That's 2 shows a week. You get this main one that's always free. Then you get one where we kind of warm up the pipes, talk a little bit more wild topics, and we just are just doing whatever. It's always a weird time. And then for $10, you get those 2, and then you get a monthly Zeitgeist thing. Well, like I was just talking Full Metal, we actually release that in just our normal feed to kind of give you guys a sneak peek. So if you want, go to our feed, check out the Full Metal Zeitgeist thing that we uploaded. That was a 3-hour deep dive we did into everything about the show. We covered the beginning all the way to the end. It was a good time. We've done a bunch of movies. We do themes and all that stuff. We're a little behind on the stuff at the moment, but we have stuff planned. We're going to be getting it done and catch you guys up. We will never leave you guys hanging with those. So it's just been a wild time right now. We'll get you caught up. So going over to the Patreon, if you so choose, you can get all that stuff. Sign up. We'd love to see you there. Don't forget our website. Check it out. It's got cool colors. I like this fancy new background we got going on here. And then head on over to Redbubble and get stuff like this. Look at this cool pin. This design, this thing right here. You can get it on a little pin. You can potentially get it on other types of merch. A sticker, a cup, maybe even get a little brick thing that you can put lights under and it says YMBToAP. I actually do want one of those.
I do too.
I think that would look perfect right here.
They call to me.
You know? So going over to Redbubble, check that out. Again, thank you to all of our supporters, whether you come in here and you listen and you supporting us with a download, or whether you're in the Patreon supporting us with a download and a little bit of money to help the show do the things you want to see and hear. So with that, we love you guys so much. Let's get you on back to that regularly scheduled content.
Let's talk about fish.
Okay. I'm going to go first.
Yes.
Because you will have, I think, way more stuff because you're playing the new shit. I'm playing the old shit.
I'll condense my love of Dredge down a
Okay.
little bit so we can get out of here at a reasonable hour.
Well, here's all I basically got. I beat Dredge.
Okay.
I just like picked it up one day, finished out Devil's Spine. I did the red dude, gave him all his stuff. It was just a book. If I'd have known they were all books, I probably wouldn't have cared to do all of them. But so did the books, did Devil's Spine real quick. That to me was the only island that was really that difficult.
Really?
And like well, yeah, because you got to like kind of like piece together what goes in the different things.
Yeah.
You got to do the 3 fires or whatever, and
like
it's like
ever burning lights. Yeah.
yeah, here's random shit you got to put in there, and then that was a little more difficult because you had to be like, this is 2 crabs I've never seen before. Where do I catch them?
Yeah.
And then I know these silhouettes. Let me comb through my book. Oh, they're right here, and then you find them. And then that one was kind of cool because it said nothing, but it was purple. So you're like, ooh, it's just aberration fish. That makes sense. And you drop them in there and it worked. So did that, did the ending. Such a limbo game, man. That game was so limbo. Because who the fuck is that girl coming out of the water? And why does Cthulhu have to show up?
You didn't read the lore.
Yeah, and I'm not going to do that shit.
That's your wife. We didn't read the
It's
lore.
not my wife. It's the dude that lives on the island.
You are the dude who lives on the island.
Why?
You didn't read.
Yeah, I read nothing. I beat the game. That's it.
Okay. So the guy who lives on the island, he's the collector. You punch him. Did you punch him?
No, I didn't punch him.
You didn't punch him?
Why would I punch him?
There's the.
Why would I punch this
You
dude?
drive me nuts.
I don't even think it offered that.
Oh, there's like a sequence that you can do. I think you have to like refuse to give him something and then go do something else and then come back. It's
But
a
why
process.
would I do that? I wanted to give him
Because-
the shit.
I didn't want to give him the shit. I wanted to hold on to it.
No, I was like, oh, I went and collected it. Here you go. And I
Did you
gave him
do
the
all
shit.
of his dialogue options?
I mean, yeah, but I didn't get to punch him.
Okay. Well, if you punch the guy, you find out that it was just a mirror the whole time. And you're fucking talking to yourself and you're losing your mind because you sacrificed your wife to the waves for like
Okay.
promise of eternity or something. And then like you have the book, that red and silver book.
Yeah.
That is the tome that can bring her back. So what ending did you choose? Did you throw the book back?
They didn't offer me that either. Because I was trying to figure out where the throw it away part was because they kept saying throw it away. And so
Did you talk to the lighthouse keeper?
not in a while.
Okay. She gives you the option.
I did mean to go back to her after I talked to this guy I met on an island and he said
Yeah.
something. And when I
Old
went,
mare.
but like she wasn't there.
Okay. What?
It said like she not there. And I was like, oh well then fuck this.
Huh.
And I never tried to talk to her again.
You had such a different experience with it. Huh.
Yeah, I did the islands and I went to the spot on the map and I beat it.
Okay.
That's exactly what I did. Yeah, I'm not going to get one new piece and then travel to every person and see if it does something for them. I was not doing that shit.
Okay.
You watched me play Life is Strange. I don't need
Yeah.
to know every dialogue. I
That's
play
true.
everything the Heavy Rain way.
Yeah.
If I fuck something up, it stays fucked up. That's the way it goes. We live that out. And then on
Oh,
another
man.
playthrough, I can do it different.
Okay.
But no, I literally played it, I beat it, and I was all like, cool. I mean, I assumed it was somebody's loved one,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
but
your
like
wife.
it didn't say anything. So I was like, oh, it's very limbo, but what's up with this guy? I mean, I assumed because I knew Cthulhu's like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
I
was
love
like,
the fact that you're like, it's
what's the
very
tie
limbo.
between them though?
None of it makes any sense because you didn't read the game.
I'm not gonna do that. Literally
Oh.
every message in a bottle I collected and then I checked it off in the map or the log so it just didn't say you got something. I didn't read a single one
Horrible.
of those.
Oh my god, that's where
Not
the
a single
whole
one.
game is.
Yeah, and I don't like doing that.
Okay.
I drove the boat.
Okay.
I drove the boat.
I don't think you need to get the DLC.
I mean, I actually beat it and was all like, I don't know that I'm gonna buy this.
So yeah, I was gonna ask you if you 100%ed it, but obviously not.
I never planned on it. Remember, I even said I'm not catching all those fish. I'm not doing that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I just beat it.
My heart's
And
broken
I
into 1,000 pieces.
literally was like fulfilled. Like I beat it and went, cool.
Well, I'm not going to gatekeep it. I'm happy that you had a good time fishing because at its core, the game is about fishing. You know,
Oh, I didn't have a good time fishing.
Robert.
I had a good time doing all the objectives and getting it done.
Okay. So you had a
I
good
was
time.
into upgrading my ship,
All right.
and then that was a little too easy because I like the Gale whatever, and I still never did the dog. I still never did that dog.
Bro.
He's just stuck on that island forever
Oh
now.
my God.
I left him.
What's wrong with
You said to give him a fish, and I was like, oh yeah, I keep selling all the fish. Well,
I don't think you even need to actually physically have a
With this
fish. I think
dog.
there's an option that you could just walk up to the dog and like offer him a fish.
oh well, it didn't do that the first time or the
And so
second
you
time.
fucking
So
left.
I was like,
it's like fuck that dog.
this dog,
Actually,
then. He wants nothing to do with me. So
oh man. Okay.
I don't read anything on how to play a game first time through. So I wouldn't have been like, how do I do this dog?
You don't really.
I
have
just want to play the
Mhm.
game.
Like.
I went twice. He didn't want to be with me. And I said, you know what? I got other islands to deal with, dog. And then I left him.
Okay. Okay.
I left him alone.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
He is no longer a thing for me.
All right. Dredge completed. Checked it off your list.
Yep.
Okay. Oh man.
Oh,
Well,
that
I'm
killed me.
having a good time with the expansion.
Okay.
I
You
100%
having
in
fun
it.
reading?
Yeah, I am. I
Okay.
read so much. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Oh man. So the new expansion, you get access to this oil rig, and the oil rig has like workers on it that you get to like learn about who the workers are if you're interested. And then
Okay.
there's a whole storyline with the scientist. So the scientist has you go pick up like aberrations all around the map, and they're
Okay.
typically the new aberrations. So you're going to each different location again, and it introduces oil spills.
Mhm.
So I'm having a good time just like fucking cleaning the ocean, just chug-a-lugging through the ocean, like picking up all the oil and bottling it and then selling it to the fishermen for
Yeah.
whatever dark purposes they have with it. And I really liked it. They added so many new different things that you can do with like the crafting. They added a bunch of different baits that you can craft if you're looking for a specific thing. Like they have a bait now where you can just like throw it down and it fills the crab pots around you. I was like,
Okay.
that's cool. Because if you're looking for a specific crab, like 100%ing the book was the only frustrating thing for me about this new iteration of Dredge, because there's one fish. It's fish number 230, which is the final fish in your book. And
Okay.
it's an aberration. And there's a whole cutscene with the scientist. I'm going to spoil Dredge the Iron Rig here. So if you don't
That's
want to
fine.
hear spoilers for that, fast forward a minute or two.
Oh yeah, for you guys, not for me. It's
Not
fine.
for you. I know that you don't give a shit. So when you're talking to the scientist and you get the aberrations for him and stuff, he'll take the fish and like pull a needle out and like inject himself with fish juice that you're giving him, which is just
Fish
absolutely
juice. Come on, guy. Don't be doing that.
Yeah, and it's aberrated fish juice too, so it's like it's fucked up.
Okay.
So he injects himself full of fish juice, and after you bring him like the fifth round of fish and stuff, it's spooky because he starts to like deteriorate and get weird. And by the time you're doing the final island, he's just like cowering behind his whiteboard and like shivering. And
Okay.
you keep giving him the fish, and he's like, I need more. And then once he like injects himself with the final fish juice, he fucking leaps out. He like has a transformation. Like he transforms into this half fish, half man, all aberration monstrosity and leaps out the window into the depths below. And what you have to do to get fish number 230, you have to be full insanity. You don't have to be full insanity in order to fish it up, but if you want to be able to see the true description of the fish, you have to be fully insane. So you have to get your panic meter like all the way up to red.
Yeah.
Where the eyeball is just like red and looking all over the place. Like that's how you know you have full panic. So you do that. And like I was saying, they make different baits. And what you have to do is get the aberrated bait from the factory, which costs, you have to craft it. So you have to get regular bait, which is something you buy from any of the traveling fishermen or the undermarket. Yeah. Then you have to get 2 dark splashes, which is something that you get from going around into the oil and fucking up, basically. Like if something hits you or if you mess up your fishing, you get a dark splash, which just takes up a little spot on your boat. But you can clean it off and just discard it, or you can just keep it on your boat for future use. So you need the bait, the splashes, and you need 2 rot, which rot you can only get by having fish go rotten in your inventory.
If you don't sell them and stuff.
And it takes several in-game days to get rot, which was driving me up a wall because I don't save my rot. I just get rid of it. I don't keep it around. I don't feel like I need it. And I wasn't aware that I was going to need so much aberrated bait. Yeah. So in order to fish up this guy, you have to fish under the bridge, under the rig with aberrated bait. And in order to get it to trigger, there's like different things that you can do, because whenever you do a bait and you pull something up, it pulls a random assortment of fish based on both where you are and what rods you have equipped to your boat. So if I have a hadal and a bissel rod and I have an ice and I have mangrove and everything, it's going to pull up any one of those fish. Yeah. But this one fish that I needed was specifically oceanic. So I was like, I'm just going to remove every rod except for the one that does the least. So I had like just oceanic and I think shallow, because you have to buy the combo rod for it. Yeah. But so I get that rod equipped, I get full panic, and I get the aberrated bait, and I'm throwing it, and I have to make so fucking much of this bait. And I got to the point where like I was so frustrated with, like, I would throw down the bait and I would do the atrophy ability. So I would just gather all the fish there automatically and not have to spend time fishing for them. And I did it so many times. I was like, I'm never going to fish up this scientist, because it kept giving me just like random ocean fish. And I'm like, clearly I want this specific guy that spawns only in this specific spot. I ended up just save scumming it, where like I would drop the bait, because the bait also costs you money after all those materials as well. So money, time, materials, I was not having it. I ended up just like save, go out to fish, drop the bait, drop the line, didn't get it. Quit the game, come back in, do the same thing, quit the game, come back in. I did it probably between 20 and 30 times before I actually got this fucking guy.
I don't want to do that in a game, ever.
This is the only time I've ever felt frustration with Dredge. Like I was pissed off, when the monsters would come after me, or whenever the fucking devil spine fish. I hate that fish, a devil spine that like follows you around. The ones
that like follow you and shit?
Yeah. Did the mother fish ever come to get you?
Like once, I think.
I hate that fish so much.
I never really got bothered by them. Like,
yeah, you don't ever go out insane, so.
Oh, hell no. No.
I don't know if insanity has anything to do with whether those fish will attack you or not, but I feel like it doesn't help.
No, because the small ones would always like keep me slow.
Yes.
But there was only like the one big one, and it was always in the back where I barely was. So like she never really came around.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. I hate those guys. They drive me nuts.
Didn't like them.
But yeah, like I would experience frustration at that, but I was never to the point of like, where the fuck is this goddamn fish? Yeah. So that was my one complaint. I feel like they could have made it a lot easier to either craft the aberrated bait with just bait and splashes instead.
I thought you were going to tell me that that's what the trick was since you were doing the thing that pulled them all up, the atrophy thing, that you couldn't use that to get them, and you were like, oh, turns out I did it wrong.
I was starting to wonder. It's like I was just doing the fishing part instead of the atrophy because I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get him with atrophy.
Yeah.
But then I looked up online. I was like, what am I doing wrong? And everyone's like, yeah, you just fish in that same spot. Sometimes it just takes a few times.
Oh, so you just got to do it. Okay.
Yeah. And people said like, yeah, you can use the atrophy ability. And people were like, yeah, I got it on my like, second or third pull. Lucky you.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a me thing, but I was there for like an hour trying to catch that fucking fish. But it's really cool because like, so once you get, you know, your insanity meter up and you catch him, the fish goes into your book, and the fish itself is like it vibrates and looks all weird. Like the picture on the page actually like moves and looks creepy. And it's the scientist like half transformed into fish. So you get to read about like what the fuck he did to himself. And it's very cool. I really enjoyed the content for the Iron Rig, but I feel like it really did kind of close the book on Dredge. So
that's what I was wondering, because you were saying like, I wish they could just keep going.
Yeah,
but,
I was worried to finish this game because I was like, if it's the end and I finish it, that's it, and I don't have any more Dredge, because I'm so attached to this game. Like this game came to me in a time where I really needed something to just turn my mind off and do nothing, and that's what this game provides to me, and I need that in my life. And I mean, so I've beat it. I've 100%ed it now on Steam anyway. I don't think I've 100%ed it on. I definitely haven't on Switch now that the new content is out. So I might get crazy and buy it on Switch too. But I have it coming in on PS5 because I bought the collector's edition that I can't wait to unbox with you guys, which that comes in I think mid-September. So very stoked about it. But all in all, I had a really, really good time with Dredge, and I'm not sad that it seems to have closed the book, because it really did wrap it up in a very nice, creepy ribbon, and it's all tied up now.
Good.
So I'm happy with it.
Good deal.
We have a lot of video games to talk about this back half, because I also want to tell you about this game called Erica that I played. So you were talking about Shutter Island a minute ago.
I have to look it up because I feel like I know the cover for that game.
You probably do. It's free to play on the PlayStation Plus store right now, I think.
I do remember when that came out.
So we've been looking for a new mystery game. We like little mystery games, and this one seems short, and it's an FMV, and we love FMV. Those are the games that they look like a movie, but you play them as if they were a video game. And so we picked this one up because it was free, and it's very cool.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and spoil it for you unless you don't want me to.
I mean,
do you foresee yourself playing an FMV game?
It's been out for 5 years.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, it's probably fine by now.
Like, if I was going to play it, I probably would have by now.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go into full spoilers for Erica, so if you don't want to hear about that, go ahead and fast forward. But Erica is, so the game starts out and you have like these, you're talking to your dad and he like shoves 3 photos across the table at you and is like, these are pictures of your mother. And like your mother's apparently dead when you start this game, so you don't really know much about her. But you pick your favorite picture with the 3 of them, and it's one of those games where like the choices matter and stuff gets impacted, so choose carefully.
Garnish. Okay.
Yeah. So at the end of it, I think only 3 choices throughout the entire game actually mattered, but it is what it is. So basically, like you pick one of the pictures, and then he like turns them over and shuffles them up, and is like, okay, now pick the same picture, and you don't get to see him shuffle them. It's really just a matter of chance. We didn't pick the same picture, so we didn't get to unlock a dialogue option, which who knows what could have happened. I know that you don't wonder about those things, but it eats away at me. I want to go back and replay this game and do the exact opposite of everything we did, because I want to know what else happens or what else could happen. But we ended up actually getting the best ending the first playthrough.
See, then I'd be done.
Yeah.
I got the good one, like the end.
Yeah. I mean, with FMV games, I feel like they're a little bit harder to replay because you're just watching the same movie, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't change as much as they could, which, like I said, we played this one just the once, so I don't know if it would change drastically if we picked anything else, but I am comfortable walking away from this one because of how it ended. So
Yeah.
the plot line of the game, your dad works at this like mental asylum sort of for young
Okay.
women, and your dad is also dead because you watch him get killed like in the first scene. So
Okay.
he's talking to you about
It was
your
like,
dead
here's these
mother.
photos. Oh shit.
Kinda, yeah. So
Okay.
like something I forget already what happened, but like you turn around and like come back and his fucking chest is all cut open and like symbols are carved into it and stuff, and then some mystery woman with a gun shows up and you're like, and I can't remember what's happening, but it's a game about like unreliable narrator and shaky memories and not really understanding what's happening around you.
Yeah.
So you go to this mental hospital where your dad worked because some like some severed hand in a box shows up on your doorstep, and you're kind of investigating what the hell's going on. So
Okay.
through your investigation, like you get to meet the different girls at the hospital and, you know, learn about them and like their different mental issues that they're going through. And you can befriend them or you can like antagonize them or do whatever. And of course, we befriended everybody because
Yeah.
we're not terrible. And then it's kind of it makes you wonder. It's written in such a way where like you could believe what the girls are saying, but they are in a mental hospital, and maybe that's not correct what's going on. Maybe you're also hallucinating. The game plays a lot on like not knowing what's going on around you. Like a phantom phone is ringing and you pick it up and it's like somebody who you thought was dead is talking to you, and they seem to know more about you than they should. And then you know, you see rituals in the woods or whatever, and you wake up with like ritual stuff in your hands, but did it happen? Was it a dream? Was it real? So you end up like investigating this secret ring of stuff going on in the hospital, and you're like getting into the walls and going through secret passages and spying on people doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing. And the whole time it just makes you, it did such a good job of making you wonder, like, do I believe these girls? Do I believe the men who are in power? Do I believe myself? Who's right in all of this?
Yeah.
And it really just had me like questioning stuff, because it really makes you care about the characters, and then it makes the characters turn on you, and they would be like, no, I'm telling you the truth, you have to believe me, you're sick, you're seeing all this stuff, none of this is real, we want to help. And then you have to like shoot this guy in the face because he's actually a bad guy. But is he a bad guy? I don't know. Like by the end of the game, it's not even like the answers are not laid clear to you at the end. You don't really know whether or not you were hallucinating, whether it was all a dream, or whether it was mental illness, or if it's true. You just walk away and everything's on fire and you murdered a bunch of people.
Okay.
So it was one of those games where I just like, at the end of it, I was just sitting there on the couch, like watching the credit screen go by, just like, oh my gosh, it was intense.
Yeah.
And then they had this like really, really good song playing over the credits of it. I'll post it in our Discord, which was difficult for me to find because I went online because I was like, what is this beautiful song? And I couldn't really understand any of the lyrics to it. So I was just like, Erica Game End credits song. And there's like a Reddit thread, and it's people like, I'm trying to find this song. Where can I go?
Oh my God.
And then I hate it when people on Reddit do this. They're like, oh, just go Google the lyrics and you should be able to find it.
I didn't know the lyrics.
Why do you think I'm here on Reddit? So I did eventually end up finding it. And there's like one version of it on Spotify, and then there's one video of it on YouTube. Like, and it has like 400 views. I was like, this is crazy.
Jeez.
And the game has been out for 5 years. That video has been out for 4 years. So I was like, this is not a lot of people know about this. So
yeah, I mean, I'm looking it up now, and it's got like, it says mixed or average reviews.
I
just think
it's
people didn't really know a lot about it.
yeah, I think it's one of those games that like you get what you put into it. Depending on your
Yeah.
choices, you know, you could have a totally different experience. So I don't know, having gotten accidentally the best experience the first way through,
Yeah.
I have a pretty high opinion of it. But I can see where like I made all the wrong choices and everything broke. I don't know.
See, that's how I felt about Heavy Rain, because I got the best ending the first time I played it. So I was like, well, I'm good. And then I only started doing different things to trophy hunt, and I think that's one of the games that made me go, trophy hunting is stupid.
Really?
And
Oh
then
my
I gave
god.
up on doing that.
You and I have such opposite perspectives of games.
I want to play a game, not go back to do a thing I've already done just to see something different to get a trophy. That's not playing a game.
I
Like
want to
now I'm just
experience
like
everything.
I'm just like doing a thing. You know what I
I
mean?
want I want to see every little Easter egg the developers put in there. Like something that a developer was like, no one's ever gonna find this. I'll find it. I'm gonna get it.
That's what YouTube is for. Plus I tried to do that with Until Dawn. I was like, okay, well, what happens when all the people die? And there were like so many ways. It was like an hour-long video that was frankly boring just to sit and watch all the different things that happen. So I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm not even going to finish this. I was like, I don't think I care about that stuff. Because I watched like the same person die like 10 ways. And I was like, okay, well, what have I gained from this though? I was like, forget it. And then I
Yeah.
gave up on it.
It's all about what you put into it, what you want to get out of it.
Yeah. I want to see the events unfold however they may. Thank you, Heavy Rain. You fucked me up in that way. Like
Thank you, Heavy Rain, for making me a trophy hunter.
when the opening screen was like, do not replay. When you make a mistake, please continue forward. I was like, shit, I'll try that, because I was not going to do that. And then when I did, I was like, that was actually pretty great. Like, I just got to have an experience without worrying about every what if. I
Yeah.
just experienced. You know?
I will always worry about the what if.
No.
It's anxiety.
I can what if on the next go round. And I've played that game several times, so but then I'm like, but I'm good enough to not fail this, so why should I fail this?
I love to fail stuff
I'm
on
gonna do
purpose.
this right.
Like in games where, like in Erica, there's situations where you have to select a dialogue option. If you don't select it in time, she says nothing. And I was like,
Yeah.
what if we just didn't say anything here? So yeah, there's like a scene where a dude is talking to you and like pleading for his life, and you're just like silently barreling him with a gun. So
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Shit happens.
Shit happens.
I don't have nearly as much to say about the next one,
Okay.
because I barely played it still. But this is my one game that I did pay full price for. It's fun enough, I guess.
Okay.
Like, I think it's just a big deal because of where it came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I put this in the Discord. Maybe I did. But like, it's a Chinese studio that made this game about one of their most famous literary works that they have. Like, it's what the world knows, right? So it's like a big deal to their culture.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even just a big deal like to games. It's a big deal to Chinese culture.
Yeah.
That their businesses gave employees the day off work to go play the game.
Which is so cool.
Hey, go enjoy our culture for the day. But one day.
One day only.
Get back to work. You know? But like, what could we release here that they'd go take the day off work to experience this cultural phenomenon?
In my mind, I just had a vision of like the Twin Towers as a game.
Oh my god.
Like if they made a 9/11 game.
We have those games already. And we don't get days off work. But like, that's amazing, right? And so I'm playing it, and I mean, it is cool. It is a Souls-like, so I mean, you gotta kind of want to play a punishing game. I fought the same 8 snakes in this forest 16 times, you know, because I kept dying at the boss right after him.
Ugh,
And you got to fight through this entire forest to get back to that point.
that sucks.
You know. So I mean, it's like that kind of game. It's not like there's really anything revolutionary. It's not changing the world. it doesn't even have HDR, and it doesn't even run at 4K. Like, there's nothing technically that's special about it. Even
Yeah.
it is just very pretty. I was kind of hoping it was going to tell me the story of Journey to the West, and I could
Yeah.
kind of like have read the book vicariously by playing through this game. I don't think that's the case at all.
Okay.
So I'm just like, well, now I'm just playing a fun game, you know. And so I've played less than an hour of this game.
So when
I
you
think.
say that like the game isn't telling you the story, is it in lore objects that you're finding and not reading?
No, there's no lore objects. Like
Are you looking for them?
playing. I mean, you are just fighting people,
Okay.
and there's nothing to pick up so far. Like, there's stuff that you pick up that just says, this is used for crafting. This is used for armor. And that's it. Like, there's no lore tied to objects.
I don't believe you.
You just pick it up. Hey, man, I picked up the weird eyeball thing, and it said, hey, this is a pair of eyeballs. And I went,
Okay.
you got it, man. Done with that. I mean, it's all used for crafting items later. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't think you're meant to keep them and learn. There's lore, I guess, in the journal for enemies. So, like, it'll, like, log every enemy type. And then,
Okay.
like, I think it gives you, like, an excerpt from the book about, like, a time they got met in the book.
Mm.
But you're not really reading this book. You're not really seeing that story. And even if you were, this would only be part 1. Because the story of Journey to the West starts with how, like, the Monkey King lived his entire life. And then there's when he becomes part of the party that the whole book is about.
Okay.
So this would only even then be like a part 1 to a part 4, you know?
Yeah.
But there was this guy, though. I got to show you this guy. I literally typed in horse guy, and it goes, horse guy Wukong? You talking about the horse guy? I met a horse guy. Check this guy out, dude. I'm going to put it in general chat, and then I will
like
put
a
it
centaur?
in the chat for all of you guys later. But you meet this
Oh. Horse guy.
yoked horse guy.
Okay. I know that there's fan art of him.
Oh, he's just sitting in that cave. He says nothing to you. You go sit at a meditation point, gain a skill point, you leave. I've never seen him again. He serves no purpose. He's just there.
He's just there.
But
Some
he's
guy-
fucking dope looking. I liked him.
Some dude worked very hard on him.
Like, he just went like, oh yeah, I'm out here trying to find this bad guy. Are you looking for the same guy? Well, you're like below my station, so I can't really talk to you. And then he doesn't talk to you anymore.
This image file, like the title of the image says, anyone come across this buff horse guy? What does he even do?
See, he doesn't do anything. Like, he's just a buff horse guy, and he's cool looking.
Stacked as hell. Does he have a
So-
horse? Is he a unicorn?
No, he's just a horse.
Okay.
But he's got a whip. That's cool. And he's apparently a better fighter than you, so he has no time for you.
Okay. You should come back when you're a better fighter, because he'll probably have stories for you.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe he'll be like, someone that can match my buffness. Let me tell you about the time I got really buff or something, you know. So far, none of the bosses have been any of the crazy shit that will happen later that I've seen. I'm still within chapter 1. Taylor was really interested in the game. She played it and said, I'm never playing this again. I don't like this kind of game. Fuck that shit. I'll watch you maybe.
Is it just very like grindy, difficult?
I mean,
so
it's fucking Dark Soul. I mean, that's exactly what it is. So
I can't vibe with that.
You
kind of
won't
game.
like that game.
No.
And I don't know that the story has enough, but I haven't seen a lot. Like, so far, there's been 3 cutscenes.
No.
And I've played through a bunch of different places. And, like, yeah, you fight this wolf dude, but nothing really gets said about him. They just go like, oh, yeah, that's the guy that took over the temple. Get rid of him. So I did. And then it was all like, good job. And you can read about how he's a wolf in the journal. But it's not like, this is what he is to you. It doesn't like you just kind of get like a description of him.
Okay.
But like the things in the journal like are they're so long. I couldn't even read the first one.
I feel like the novel is in there and you're just skimming over it.
I mean, maybe.
Like, what is this? Text? Well,
I was like, okay, who cares about this wolf dude with a sword? Who's he, man?
you'll never know.
I just want to bonk. I just want to bonk, you know? And the bonking is okay. Like, I guess it will. I mean, it's probably going to get more intricate, but it's just like Elden Ring and all that shit. Like, you just keep going,
Yeah.
doing the thing. But this is not near as punishing or as mean,
Okay.
you know? I mean, the first guy, I beat him. I mean, like the first boss, beat him on the first try.
Oh, good.
I was like, oh, well. But I mean, it was just the first wolf guy. It's probably going to get. I've seen some of the bosses. It's going to get way fucking harder.
So it's not like the first boss in Elden Ring where everyone's like, it took me 6 hours.
But this is also the kind of game that, like, you can play it. I feel like you got to, like, really have time. And I have not had a lot of time for this game.
Mm.
And as we discussed, I'm going to spend time watching animes instead. So I still won't be playing this game very much.
Yeah.
But it is cool. It is not the revolutionary game that I thought it was going to be when bug butt physics was the whole thing, and it it does look very solid. I'll say that
Okay.
because it's doing like Unreal Engine new graphical stuff, so it's very solid. There's a lot of like cleanup that it does, but it's not like it's the best graphics I've ever seen. I'm not like, dude, man, the facial stuff is nuts. Like, that's a real person. Like, look at that. Like, I've never done that.
Okay. So it's not like blowing you away.
I am not very blown away. It is just another Souls game, which is what every fucking game is now.
Yeah.
But it's only cool because it's from a Chinese studio, and it's like, this is literally our culture in a game that you can buy. And that's what I think is really cool. So, it is neat. But I don't think the world would be set on fire with this game.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
glad you're playing it, so I don't have to.
I do want to finish it. Like I said, I'm still in chapter 1. I still got, I think it's only 6 chapters or something. And I do love that the developer said this is a 20-hour game. And I'm seeing all these posts. It's like, I'm 50 hours in. I can't get past boss number 5.
Oh my God.
So, you know, I think it's like you said about some other stuff. You get what you put into it. Are you going to master that combat and really fuck around? Because Taylor was trying to play it and she goes, can I put this on easy? And I was like, that's not in these games. Like, it is what it is. And she goes, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
She played further than me in her first go round and then was like, this isn't fun. She said the same thing about The Messenger, and I love that game.
You
But
love
that
a
one's just
punishing
fun,
game.
which is why I liked it. So we'll see where it goes. I just met a monkey that I don't remember what he does yet. He's some shopkeeper guy. We'll see what he does.
All right.
So we'll see what I learn from it. But like I said, I think it says I've clocked 40 minutes into the game.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're barely scratching the surface of it yet.
Yeah, I have not done a lot. So we'll see where it goes.
All right. I've gotten into a new game.
Okay.
I talked about this in Friday Roundup a little bit.
Yep.
Deadlock is a new MOBA hero shooter from Valve. So I've never really been a MOBA person. I don't know a lot about them. I played Heroes of the Storm, I think 5 times in total in order to get a Diva skin. And then I uninstalled it immediately because it was so unfun and I did not like it. But Deadlock. So it's set in like a 1930s steampunky alternate version of New York. And it's just a really good visual game. Like it's a world that I want to be in, and it's producing a lot of fan art already. So it's going to be like a juicy environment that people are going to like really get into. Because I say already because this game has been live in beta alpha. It's in an alpha test, which comes before the beta, if you don't know.
Been out for 5 days.
been out for 5 days. People are already doing like fan fiction and lore and like art and stuff. People are very into it. It is so cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect about it. So one of my dear friends, Rob, who actually was on this podcast several years ago, talking about trains. So he's one of my Overwatch buddies.
Yeah.
And we've all been just kind of like idling since the death of Overwatch 1. They play Overwatch 2 sometimes, but I don't play with them.
Yeah.
And we don't really have a game that we play like together frequently anymore. So we talk in Discord, but we like miss gaming together. So Rob was like, do you guys want to check out this cool game that I just found from a friend? And he sent us all invites. So we all got in and they're like, okay, yeah, let's try it out. And we hopped on last night and immediately, like all of us, it had its hooks into us just instantly. It was the gameplay loop is so fun and so rewarding. Yeah. Like the simple thing of just moving around the map is really exciting. There's so in MOBA games, like you're all working toward one specific objective. And I don't know if they're all like this, but I feel like Heroes of the Storm is pretty similar, where you kind of like have to go through certain pathways to get to the end of something where an enemy's like stronghold is, and then destroy whatever's in the stronghold. So that's what Deadlock is. There's these 4 lines that you're on, and on the lines there's like several different levels of enemy. So there's these little like minions who just have a little stick and they'll come up and hit you. They're very simple. One of them is a healer that can like help the enemy team. So you knock out the minions. You're playing 6v6, so 6 people versus 6 people, and then all the bots are also on the map helping both teams. So like you can push up on a lane and then your bots will just like fight the other bots on that lane and kind of keep it held for you. Unless you're pushing with the bots, they're really not going to, take advantage and make ground. Yeah. So it's hard because it's 4 lanes for each team and 6 people. So you're always kind of like dividing up, like in the beginning it's 1 or 2 to a lane, but then suddenly one team has a big advantage and now they're like pushing really hard on blue lane. So like everybody has to jump back on their lane real quick and then ride over to blue lane. And when I say ride, so it's like a third person over the shoulder kind of a shooter, which I typically don't like. I much prefer a first person. I feel like a third person shooter is disorienting and kind of takes me out of it. But the character design is so cute and cool that I really don't mind looking over the shoulder at these guys. So the movement, when I was watching it in YouTube videos, I was like, this is going to be something that makes me sick. And it's very disorienting, but it's not so bad. You kind of like, you're fighting on the street and then you can look up and there's these like glowing rails. And if you're looking at one, you hold space, you just automatically jump and shoot up to it. And then you can ride that rail down to where the rails connect again and then jump across to a different rail and ride that one back up to the fight. So it takes time and there's like strategy and stuff. Each of the different heroes has a different set of abilities. Some of them are like more DPS, some of them are more tanky healers. They're not categorized like they were in Overwatch, which is something I hope that they change, because I kind of want to know like what's this character's strength, because I got stuck with one. I was like, oh, this is the sniper, I hate this. So it's still like it's in alpha, so it's in early phases, but it feels so complete and so like realized. I feel like this should be hitting beta and then full production probably, I would guess, before the end of the year. That's just a wild stab in the dark from me with no information from anywhere. I'm just like making bread out of wheat over here, but I think it could happen and I want to see it. And I think that this game could also be like one of the next big things. It's just so much fun. Like, I didn't win a single game. I'm dog shit at it right now, but I was having the time of my life, just like hanging out with my friends and being able to like have a game that we can bond over again. I mean, part of the fun, of course, is the friendship, but we've played several games where I'm like, this game isn't like fun enough for me to stick around.
Yeah.
Which is not to say that I don't like my friends, but I'll just hang out in voice and not play a game with them, you know? I'd rather do that than play a game that I don't like. But this one is like, yeah, okay, we're playing together, we're having fun, we're like pushing an objective. It feels like we're back. And it's so good. I haven't felt this way in a very long time. And I'm just excited to have something to like game with friends again. It's really, I'm very excited about it. And I want Deadlock to be a success. The alpha has been crazy successful so far. There's over 100,000 concurrent players, and it's just doing gangbusters. So I mean, really,
it's Valve. Like
it's
Valve always makes something that changes the game. You know?
Yeah. And this feels, like I said, it's something new, something different. Like I have not played a game like this before. I've played MOBAs, didn't like them. I've played plenty of shooters. This feels new, and I'm really excited about it. And I want
I'll have to check it out on Twitch or something tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel like there's a bunch of streamers with it. You might even like to play it. Like it's fun. I don't know. I can't imagine it's going to be releasing on platforms that are not PC, but
yeah,
it's a good time. I'm enjoying it greatly.
This thing just says Deadlock is going to stomp Overwatch. Thank God. And that was on the Blizzard forums.
I mean, I think people are so tired of Overwatch and so tired of the grind.
Well,
I don't even know if this one is like, I don't know the model they're going to go with. If they're going to do a seasonal free-to-play model, if they're going to do like a buy the battle pass type of thing, if it's going to be just like a one-time pay and get in the game, or if it's, I have no idea. I have no clue what they're going to do. I imagine probably battle pass because everything these days is battle pass, but I'm having lots of fun with it. And I feel like I can trust Valve. So I don't feel like they're going to fuck me like Blizzard has.
Oh yeah. Like, plus Valve has always been good at like multiplayer stuff. I mean, Team Fortress 2 lived for way longer than most games even dream of.
Yeah. I feel like this has that potential. Like we could be looking at the next TF2. Yeah. It's exciting. It's an exciting time to game.
Okay. I guess we'll find out.
We will find out one day.
Yeah. Well, I hope it comes out in a bigger release at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be out fairly soon. I'll, of course, keep you informed as I continue to play it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, heck yeah.
That's all I got for you.
That is it. What a beefy week this was. Lots of games.
Yeah. So much to talk about.
Yeah. Well, with that, you wanna start a new game?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
If you loved this episode, please tell a friend about us, because word of mouth is the best way we can get the good YMBToAP into new ears. We release weekly every single Monday, always here for you because you're always here for us. If you want to talk to us outside of Mondays, you can always catch us over there on the Instagram, over there on the TikTok, over here on the YouTube. YouTube, right here where you're watching it, maybe. You could be watching it on YouTube. I bet you are. Mm-hmm. If you're in the know, you can hit us up on the secret Discord where all the patrons live. Our patrons are our best friends. They come in there and they hang out with us and they tell us all the things that they love and hate about YMBToAP. And I can't wait to hear what they love and hate about this episode.
I just love how we call it the secret Discord, but we talk about it every show.
I know. It's a very well-kept secret.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know how to get in there, do you? I bet you don't. I bet you could find out. You click the link in our show notes. I bet it would tell you.
And as always, our theme song is "The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn" by Faraj. It's the greatest theme song of all time. You gotta listen to the full thing. Going over to his channel on YouTube, show him some love. And as always, thanks for listening, and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question: is Deadlock gonna become Kelsey's new Overwatch? I don't know.
I think I might.